What's going on, family? This is Leon Timbo, and you know I got soul.
All right, you know I got soul here with Leon Timbo. Want to start out in the beginning. You've been at this music thing for years. You've been honing your craft for so many years and having success. I was reading your bio. You got off to a little bit of a late start singing. Around the age of 16, you started singing.
Absolutely.
Take us back to that when it originally got you into singing.
You know, I've been a church boy all my life, man. I found God, Jesus. I needed something to help me. I was going crazy, and so that happened for me early on in life. And so my dad's a pastor, so I was always around it. And so music was somewhere in me, but I couldn't articulate it. I couldn't sing. I couldn't, you know, I was tone deaf. If you go back to my hometown, Jacksonville, Florida, you'll get people, it's like this dude couldn't carry a note. And so in some ambiguous, weird, if you're up there God way, I was like, yo, if you do this for me, I'm gonna be a good person for the rest of my life. You know, everybody probably did it, but it worked, you know. So after I had that moment, I started hearing music differently. And so because I know what it feels like not to have, not to sing, not to move, I'm always passionate about it. I never take moments on stage or moments in front of people or the articulation of any type of creative thing for granted, because I know what it feels like to have it here and not be able to, you know, express it. So that's where that late start came. I'm kind of grateful for it because, again, it's given me that that plight of resistance, you know. And so my strength has been in the fact that it hadn't always been easy.
So where'd you originally develop this unique sound you have? You know, it's kind of folksy, bluesy, but then R&B, soul. What influenced your sound?
You know, I couldn't find a reference point for it. But like I said, Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County, Duval. That's anywhere you'll know Duval. We're so country down there that we're known by our county more than we're known by our city. So it came from the back porch, man. It came from Florida living, alligators. You know, it came from, you know, Florida Gator, Seminole. It's just rough. It's just rough down there, man. And so you tend to be really passionate, really organic. You kind of take from the elements around you and build this tapestry of sound. And I think that's just how I articulated that space. So yeah, that's where the sound came from.
During this new, you know, found of expression of music, how did you, you know, learn to bring the guitar and incorporate that into your sound?
Well, I'm a singer-songwriter first, which means the guitar has always been my canvas. I never claimed to be a musician, although, you know, I'm fluid on the Nashville number system and I know what key I'm playing in. But I've never been a musician. It's just painted the picture, you know, like Bob Ross. It's kind of painted the canvas, and the words have always been my focus. I'm a storyteller, so the guitar, I needed something portable. It was really functional. It wasn't fashionable. I didn't see a lot of blacks doing it, and so it was really functional. I'm at the beach. I can't take a piano out here, so the guitar and me kind of became boyfriend and girlfriend, and I've just kind of been moving ever since.
Songs like "You're My Darling" and "Don't Call," it has that old school vibe to it. Can you just explain to me, like, composing those two tracks, what it was like in the studio?
"Don't Call" was more bare bones. I need to express this idea that friendship isn't the convenience of technology. Friendship is sacrificing your space and finding another person in their space. You know, with everything that's going on and any way to contact people, FaceTime, sometimes you cannot value the choice of inconveniencing yourself for somebody else's safety. And so "Don't Call" was just the articulation of that. And I just needed a canvas to paint that picture. "You're My Darling" is a little different. I went in with a lot of veteran musicians, Mano Haynes, who produced the album, Rick Watford, just Phil Lassiter has some energy into this space. So with that, you had the ability to articulate a dance track, a live dance track that would kind of remind you of what courting felt like. You know, I could be vulgar because I'm a grown man. I can say what I want to say, but I like telling the story and getting to the same end. Especially with a woman, because it lasts longer, you know. And so I just kind of enjoy the maturity of saying, "You're beautiful." No. That rose reminds me of you. It's the same thing, but it's not the same thing. She'll never forget the rose reminds me of you. Where you can tell any chick you're beautiful, you know. So that's what You're My Darling was. That's how it, you know, kind of birthed.
So you called a break eventually in your career. You linked up with Tyrese, and he hooked you up with Babyface, and things kind of went from there. How did those situations initially come about?
Well, you know, funny thing, man, I was actually singing in T.D. Jakes' church. And so in Dallas, T.D. Jakes' church, Tyrese was in the audience. I'm assuming that him and Bishop Jakes had a meeting about one of Bishop Jakes' movies, blah, blah, blah. And so he was in the audience, and he came backstage and said, whatever you did here, can you do at the House of Blues? And so I was like, sure, whatever, you know. And then I got scared because how do you articulate a Sunday morning to sexy Sunday evening? It's always been in me, but I was never put on the spot like that. So the same thing I prayed when I was 16, I prayed again, you know, ambiguous, Lord, Savior, Jesus, if you would help me make sense to these 1,500 women that are waiting for Tyrese to take his shirt off. You know, it's that simple. So from that expression, from that experience, I realized that the music isn't only contingent on how I feel, but it's contingent on the room that I'm in. So that room pulled a certain energy out of me that other rooms wouldn't have. And every step that I've taken with Tyrese, with Babyface, with R. Kelly, with Quincy Jones, they've all evolved a part of me. Babyface, for instance, he songwrites like a child. He sees it. He sees it simply. You know, don't complicate this process. Be clear, be concise. And I didn't know that prior. So it's been a learning process, and I've always gotten something out of their artistry that's made them millions. I was privy to, and I'll never you know, regret those moments.
And you have like a very soulful 70s vibe to your art that you make. Can you just explain to me some of the music influence who helped you along the way?
Yo, Bill Withers. Bill Withers didn't start his career until his 30s. He was in the military during his 20s. Bill Withers would be the one that I would love to meet Bill one day. My influence, James Taylor, really. And it's only because where I was, there wasn't a lot of connection with the guitar. I saw him articulate his brand. I saw him articulate his sound with his guitar, and I appreciated that as well. So Andre Crouch, the ability to cross over into different genres, into different, tours in London, Tokyo, and I'm talking about the 70s. Donny Hathaway, the ability to kind of articulate your insanity, if you will. I think Donny Hathaway was probably one of the smartest musicians we've ever heard. And so I take from that space because it related to my life more, because I came late. I needed a grown man sound. You know, I needed a sound that my children's children can look back and say, that's timeless, that's dad. You know what I mean? So that's what you get from me, and that's why.
Take us up to date a little bit at what you've currently been working on.
I've been working on for the last 3 years, man. I've been working on What Love's All About. And this particular project, it spans the idea that music is timeless. I don't want to just put my music up next to who's ever hot on the charts today. I would like to put my music next to, and this might be a little hardy, but my heart's there, Luther Vandross. I would like to put my music, my live music, next to the Temptations, to Marvin Gaye. It's a higher order, but I don't believe we've lost your Earth, Wind, and Fire. I don't believe we've lost the spirit that stuff came from. I think we've just been lazy and microwaved our processes, wanting the results a lot faster than needing the process of building what's going to get you those timeless results. Those guys were in the studio all day doing it over and over again. And, you know, we have auto-tune and Pro Tools, and we can knock a track out in 3 minutes. And I think you lose the struggle. Some songs I've written and I've waited years to finish them. Why? Because I'm not grown enough to finish that song. You know, I haven't experienced enough. We've missed that process. It took Stevie 5 years to do Songs in the Key of Life. Barry Gordy was livid, you know, and so we missed that because of the demand of the industry, the demand of technology, and I just took a risk, and I really believe it's going to pay off.
I think what's really special about you as an artist is listening to you speak on how passionate you are about the artistry. You know, we come across many artists who love music, but hearing you speak about the artistry and everything that goes into being an artist is amazing to hear. Wow. What is your favorite part about being an artist and what it means?
Honestly, the struggle, The best things that have happened to me have happened with a no, with a not yet, because I found a part of me that I wouldn't have discovered otherwise. And I think my most favorite part of being an artist with the no is the fact that a shut door here only means that I need to be clear about where an open door is. No is good. No, you know, pain is good. No is good, because not until you have that kind of absolute do you know, okay, that's not it. You know, when things are just wavering, it might happen, it might not happen. You can be in that, you can vacillate there for years. So I think in being an artist, doing a song and saying, that's not the song. No, 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 no. I don't want to play with it. It's not saying what I wanted to say. Growing to the place of not taking anything has been my greatest, I guess, takeaway from the process of my, you know, my artistry and being an artist.
It's amazing. That's all we had. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Yo, I don't know. I just got the microphone. Yo, I don't know who's watching, who's listening, but we all have different DNA. Nobody's alike. Two things that are the same only means one thing. One of those two things are irrelevant. And I just refuse to be irrelevant, and I don't want you to be irrelevant. Let's be who we are, even if nobody else gets it until they get it. You know what I mean? So that's my takeaway, and I hope it inspires somebody, bro.